This is Doctor, with Sergeant, covering Incident 9874 with Recon Team Echo of Hammerdown 7. So tell me what happened.
Well, ma'am, we were charged with looking into an incident over in the Eastern European area, around the Ukrainian-Russian border. We were supposed to be looking into an ACO, which...
Anomalous creature or object?
Yeah. Trust me, we were supposed to meet up and link in with the Russian Spetsnaz force of the 273 and the Ukrainian Defense Force of the 126.
Even though the conflict was in full swing?
Yes, ma'am. Even though that it was in the middle of the conflict right now, we were still able to diplomatically get some support. There were around 10 Russians, 10 Ukrainians, and 7 of us Foundation members. I'll tell you what, it was interesting. We got about 6, maybe 7 clicks in when we made an FOB, a forward operating base. Once we got there, that's when we saw what was looking at us.
What? What was watching you?
Well, the Russians call them lalabete.
Lalabeti?
It means watchers, ma'am.
Did they attack anyone?
Not really. It was weird. They're humanoid looking, besides the fact that they're almost, as tall as a fucking tree. But besides that, they were, just sitting there. Well, they would be about almost half a click out, maybe even less, and then all of a sudden they would just disappear and show back up a quarter of a click away, and then disappear and show back up another half a click away. It was just odd. They just kept watching us until,
the incident happened.
Yeah. It's about 4 days, 4 days maybe into the whole shebang, and then we heard screaming, shooting. All of a sudden, we hear Russians screaming and hollering. We hear Ukrainians firing at something. We had 2 of our boys shooting at something. We just couldn't fucking see what was happening. But I'll tell you right now, that was not just some random attack.
What do you mean?
Ma'am, I have been with the Foundation for a good long time, and I know the difference between a random attack by a monster and a coordinated attack by something intelligent. These things were not targeting just random people. First off, the Russian commanding officers were the ones that were attacked first. The Ukrainians were lucky because their officers looked just like the regular soldiers, so nothing bad happened there. But the 2 people that were being attacked, one was the lieutenant and the other was the commander. Something was wrong. The commander knew it, and he backed off as fast as he could back into the middle of the forward operating base. That's when, I grabbed my lucky charm and decided I'm going to use her.
You had 20 millimeters, la talalati?
20 lalati. Yes. It's a French, or I should say Finnish-made anti-material rifle. It was made back in World War II. Boys down in R&D souped it up and made it into, a nice little modern age 20 millimeter cannon that I could shoulder fire. Had it ever since the incident with 106.
How did they react to the Lati?
That's the fucked up part. After we took a couple shots at it, or at least one of them, damn thing near dropped. Fucked up part was, I heard maw deuces being fired at rapid succession. I mean, one after another, after another, after another. Maw deuces just ripping into these things. Nothing. That 20 millimeter, though, it actually hit and did some damage. Not enough to take it down, but enough to make sure it got hit. Then I kept loading into that bastard and it dropped. But then it started fucking screaming, and I swear to God, it was bad.
The screams?
it just let out this horrible scream. Now, I've heard some very disturbing ones. I was in multiple recontainments of 682, and I've heard that bastard scream different ways from Sunday. But this was different. Made my skin crawl, made my bones ache. Felt like I was tensing up for no reason. They say there's a creature out there. An animal. Gives off this loud screeching sound, and everything within a certain radius just freezes. Say you can do it with goats and bugs too, if they're a certain kind. Loud screams, loud holler, loud noise tenses the muscles, and they don't relax for a couple seconds, up to a minute or so. After that, a couple of them started retreating. We opened fire and rinsed and repeat. We got about 2 of them. 2 out of the 8 that showed up.
So, how many were lost?
We lost the Russian commander, the Russian lieutenant, 2 of their soldiers. The Ukrainian commander was lucky. He didn't end up dead, neither did the lieutenant, but they lost 4 of their boys as well. And we lost the lieutenant and 2 other personnel officers.
4 Russians, 4 Ukrainians, and 3 Foundation staff? God, what a clusterfuck.
Yeah, you can say that again. This was bad. We were dead from the waters. As soon as we got told that, it was just interesting. But the worst part was yet to come.
What do you mean by that?
Well, ma'am, I'm gonna be honest with you. We got lucky. If it wasn't for the fact that the Foundation had us on a loop intel retrieval, that they knew that at least 3 of us were dead and they sent in the cavalry real quick, we would have been dead. By the way, you remember when I told you one of those little bastards disappeared right before the other 2 showed up?
Yes, then 1 disappeared and 2 took its place.
Yeah. It was different. Something off about it.
Different how, exactly?
It looked meatier. It was more lower to the ground, but it was still more buffer.
Buffer like a subspecies?
Maybe. I told the researchers that they said maybe, possibly subspecies, probably a different type. Maybe it was a leader build, or maybe it was something different, but I'm only telling you this right now. Whatever the hell it was, what we fought, that was a scouting party. Ran the same tactics that I would have ran if I had 7 plus me. Pick off the commanding officers. Let the small fry huddle around themselves to try to figure out what the hell's going on. Something just, it won't right. Man, these things are intelligent. And I'm quite scared if these things start multiplying on a exponential. We might not be the apex predators on this planet for very long.
Okay, that will be all, Sergeant.
I hope it helped. Thank you, ma'am. I gotta get me a drink. Thank you.
057, it's my understanding you put the search out for these watchers. I hope you know what you're doing.
Hi, this Redac review was made by Erwin, one of the members of my Discord, so if you want to actually become part, or actually probably be even, showcased, join the Discord and actually come in and tell your little interesting stories. The reason I actually went with this, which is known as The Watcher, is because it was an interesting concept that was literally first on the board, and I said whoever got there first was going to be the first episode. So congratulations there, Erwin, you made it. They basically came up with this really intense and really beautifully designed idea. Basically, the Watcher is, or are, just a 12-foot tall humanoid like Slenderman being, but they're completely, utterly black. Imagine the dark ones from the Metro series. Imagine that. But literally, one of the more interesting things is they are actually pretty aggressive. In case you didn't know, his lore on these creatures, basically, they are interesting due to the fact that they can actually screech to the point where you will go deaf at 150 decibels and can rip through, well, 15 meters of steel like it's nothing. So, yeah, interesting. So when I read this and they said that there were other versions of Watchers, I was really, really interested, so I asked them to make some more. And they did, which I'm not going to go into grave detail because, quite honestly, Erin, you made an amazing creature. Erin, if you can actually see this right now, I already gave it to you, but I wanted to say this to everybody. I've given Erin literally the Writer Award on my Discord. It's a very cool role. Basically, I give it out to those that I do any of the Redac reviews with, because it's an amazing story and a really cool concept, because it uses what's already there and makes it into its own little unique scenario. Also, I would like to give up a little bit of a shout out to Saba Blacksheep, because she was the voice actress for this little skit of ours. Also, if you want, she's an amazing SCP artist and other content creator, so I would suggest going following her on her YouTube and also her TikTok. She's an amazing person. If you want to try to get the Writer's Reward and also other things of that nature, please, I would suggest joining the Discord and actually posting it in the Redac review page. And if you're lucky enough and your story makes me go, interesting, you might actually be the next one that I make a little tiny short story with. So, with that being said, I thank you all for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and to hit that little bell notification. And as always, remember,